intimately into each other's eyes, waiting for the moment to bring itself upon us. The magic of the morning. Yeah? Yeah? Happy podcast day. Welcome to Sinner and Saint. Hi, Ben.
Hey.
Hey.
Happy podcast day.
We're on the on-ramp and we're going 45 as we're about to jump onto the interstate. So
we're not even going 45.
Welcome to the Sinner and Saint podcast, where Ben and I, maybe me, will discuss the best and the worst of life. And
you're going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting today. Yeah, I can tell you, you're going to have to do a whole lot of heavy lifting today.
Well, I'm not mad. So I got a lot of energy this morning.
Oh, this is going to be a slog.
I don't know. I didn't sleep well, so I was like, this isn't. When I woke up at 6.
Welcome into Drunk Puppy Meets the Dungeon Master.
Who is that? Is that the name of our new podcast?
That's Cammy.
The next one. Oh, that's well.
That's Cammy.
How's that going, by the way?
She's the Dungeon Master.
Is she? Yeah. Well,
you know all about that.
That's true.
You want to get Eddie in here and get this thing going on like the normal?
We're just moving on through, and
this is your first time joining us. Sorry, I don't know how you ended up here. We open every show with a spirit, and we close every show with a spirit. And I'm not going to tell you anymore. You'll just have to see how those unfold.
Figure it out on your own, you big idiot.
But the first spirit isn't brought to us by us.
We have a buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, help us out, man.
Exactly. Time to get a drink.
Good.
Just a little drink.
Hey, Eddie.
Any little drink.
You're snapping and beeping and.
Dude, I got it.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening, guys.
Nah, you're good. We're like the scrambler.
I slept for about 3 hours.
Yeah, I was expecting a bailout.
No,
I was anticipating.
I was committed to this. I know it's important and you're busy. Like, you're a busy guy.
I'm busy.
I'm not
so
a busy guy.
I'm so busy.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and drink. Today we're having a bourbon sour. We've realized if we both drink at the same time, you just listen to two men just
slurping.
So this is a bourbon sour. It's now there's a few ways to make this. You can do this with just like bourbon and then regular sour mix, and that's how most people would do it.
Or your tears after an argument.
Yeah. Now that's the salty version, so you might want to do a tequila
still
sour.
Sour though. Yeah, still sour.
No, this is bourbon, and then I did a mix of lime juice, lemon juice, and simple syrup this morning to make the sour mix. And so it should be a little sweeter, which you like.
It's a little sour. Sour.
Well, it should be a little less soury than.
I think this maybe is the most sour I've ever had. But I'm not complaining.
That's because I can get you back there. Boy, that really gets you back there. No, I think it was because of homemade. I mean, if you have like fresh lemon and fruit, I'm like homemaking now. Wow, that was good and sour.
That's excellent. If you're listening to the podcast, we're also over on YouTube, and that's where you really get the visual antics of this. And Ben's mouth is doing a nice little dance for us.
Oh man, wow. It's gang, hold on the best you can for
bourbon sour, extra sour.
I'm gonna try and stay tuned for the whole 45 minutes.
Well, give us a little tie-in. I know why you're coming in rough, but tell the listeners what's going on.
Yeah, once a year, a bunch of college buddies, we get together on a specific day, and we do. We just get together for a fantasy football draft, and then just hijinks and shenanigans, and throughout the night we just kind of mill about and talk to each other and see how everybody's doing and kind of check in. And it's a really good time. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. It's the only night my wife just completely doesn't care if I come home or not. And in fact, it was funny because it wasn't far from here.
Oh, really?
And she was like, "Why don't you just go?"
Yeah,
to
you should just came over and
I was like, "Man, I should. I should have just gone to Patches," and I didn't. I went back home.
And I got empty beds. I mean,
I know.
I kicked all the tenants out, all the freeloaders.
I thought about that.
And by the way, just I thought you knew this. Didn't want to break this to you here, but Darling never cares any night if you ever make it home. So.
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay.
No, that's not true. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna rain on your parade. I do love the fall for many reasons, but it's plenty of fantasy football going on, and I like to refer to it as the season where grown men fantasize about other grown men, and it's welcome. And there's parties.
For certain. Yeah, we have fantasy parties. Yeah, I know we had a really good time last night. My buddy and his wife host it.
Oh, nice.
And they have a beautiful home with a nice setup that's real conducive to us. Just
it doesn't take much.
It's funny to like watch our group get older.
Oh, when you said antics, I thought I bet your antics today are not the same antics that you guys got into 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh, no, even 5 years ago. Like
the evolution of the antics have changed.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
So, but it's good.
But still good. Yeah, it's good to have that.
Like at one point, one of our buddies showed up, and like when I saw how he was dressed, I just had to make the comment. I was like, "You're slowly becoming like an Alan Arkin character," like because he had on like a bucket hat and like a t-shirt that was just a little too big for him, and his glasses frames have gotten larger, and like.
He had
tube socks pulled up with his tennis shoes, and I was like, "You're close to living in Miami."
Yeah, no, there's a thing that comes through as you're going through life where you're just like, "No, that is cool." And you're like, "No, that's the way your dad dressed that you made fun of."
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
But now you somehow in your head you're like, "No, that works."
Yeah, can you reach that thing?
Yeah.
Thanks. We've got it.
I'll be back.
Sorry, if you're listening, I don't know if it's coming through on the other feed, but if you're listening, there's this really weird kind of low tone buzz whenever I'm not holding the phone. So we're gonna try and
we're gonna see if we can play with something
and eliminate that noise because it's annoying me. I have to think you as the listener are also annoyed. I'm also just no.
And we're just along for the ride here, so we're just gonna he's putting a phone on a tripod, fidgeting with it. I'm gonna give the narration and the
Guys, looks like I'm just holding my phone all morning. So
what's it? Yeah, now he's clubbing me with the tripod.
No, I don't know. It's you'll just have to go back and listen to it. I know you don't like listening to this show.
No, I do like.
You're more of a content guy. It's just whenever it's not in my hand, it just goes. There's.
Sorry for that.
So.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, I could have, I guess, just given you an earbud, and that would have.
Good, but
wow, this is not good audio. Nobody cares.
No,
nobody cares about it.
Is it that bad? Oh, you mean the content is not good?
Let's move along.
Yeah, and here we go. We're shuffling, transitioning.
Cincy Saintsies.
Yeah, you ready?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I had a saint moment yesterday. I know if you're new to the show, those are harder for us to come up with.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this morning, like, what are my sinner saint moments? And this was I had a neighbor and a friend call yesterday at kind of late afternoon, and he's a good friend and I enjoy him, but like we're not phone people, like we don't talk on the phone with one another. And I answered the phone. I was like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, are you home?" I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I'm on my street. There's a guy bleeding. Come help."
Whoa!
And I was like, "What the heck?" Quick side note: if you're gonna sprint, don't do it in flip flops. You'll feel that.
Was it fleeing the scene?
I just wear appropriate footwear at all times, I think. So I get there, and thankfully by the time and this was, I mean, what would be probably a couple city blocks away.
Okay.
By the time I got there, the fire department was there, and the EMS was on the way. And this poor guy, he lives in our neighborhood, but he was stripping wire with a utility knife, and the utility knife just went straight into his wrist. And so he flipped out, didn't know what to do, and was home alone. So literally just ran outside and started yelling, "Help me!" And my friend had just happened to be driving by, and when he was driving by, my friend drives a white car, and there was blood on the car, there was blood on the street, there was blood everywhere. But luckily, one of our neighbors who I know is a retired doctor and was home and lives catty corner from him. So was able to come over and kind of get control of the whole thing. And so my friend came up to me and was like, thank you for coming. And I was like, yeah, no, it looks like this is well in hand. And he made the comment, he said, I didn't know who to call, and you were like, I needed an adult. He was like, and when I needed an adult, I just thought of you and called you, and I was like, yeah, I have no medical training.
Yeah,
like I've probably forgotten my CPR stuff even, and I was just like, I don't think I'm a qualified individual to come help save this man's life. But thankfully, there were other people that were quickly responsive and able to help stabilize the guy, and then he got on a stretcher and wheeled away. And I just kind of had to laugh because my friends also like.
They put him on a stretcher?
Oh man, he had lost a lot of blood.
Eesh.
He looked like they wrapped his wrist and arm so much to continue that pressure that, I mean, it looked like he had a full-on cast when he left.
Man.
Like, I think he had to have hit an artery or at least some veins. Like, he was, and his next-door neighbors had said, and then the doctor and his wife actually went and got gloves and they were like, we're going to go clean up the house so his wife doesn't have to come home.
Yeah, really.
All this blood.
Yeah, murder scene.
And so it was one of those where it was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm here. Let's go. I'll jump into the fire with you.
Yeah. You're going to show up and not be chaotic and,
help if I can.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Interesting.
So, basically, I answered my phone and I'm a saint. Shine that halo up.
You're so grown up.
Mm-hmm.
You're so grown up, man. I mean, wow.
I am. It felt good to be important.
Isn't that funny when we share these? Like, I appreciate that story. I think it's exactly like that saint moment of like crisis call, and I answered it and did whatever I did, which was not much.
No,
but like anytime you share the saint moments, like it kind of as soon as I'm done with the story, I was like, well, that wasn't much.
Yeah.
Like that.
And that's how I'm important.
Like
the funny part of that, if there was any comedy in that situation, it was that I had another friend come over at the moment. He's walking up into my garage the moment I got the phone call. And I had that moment where I was like, I could explain this all, but instead I was just like, be right back. And then just ran away.
You ran to the scene. You didn't drive to it?
No, I ran to it.
Oh.
Because that guy actually, who called me, lives not far from me. Like, it's just across the common space.
Right, okay.
So I just took the footpath and was like, I can get to his house.
Gotcha.
And then I was like, I don't see anyone here. So then I just kind of ran
kept going
on a cul-de-sac, and so as I ran around the curve and kept going up, then I saw the fire truck and was like, oh, that's where everything is. And then I was like, oh, they're like trained professionals.
Yeah,
I can walk. I can slow this down. I can. Again, body by bacon, so that's not good for sprinting, let alone in flip-flops.
It's good for keeping you warm in the winter, though.
You know what?
That matters.
My wife likes snuggles.
That's right.
At night, we call them snugs and hugs. We'll get on the couch, do some snugs and hugs.
Oh.
And that's really just us watching TV together.
Okay.
Little peek into my life. You got a saint moment there?
I'll share my saint moment. It's equally kind of like just that of like I'll share it. People are like, that's it, really? Like, okay.
That's all you had?
Yes.
There's no more?
It's all I have.
That's it.
That's it. So just so you know, I want to make sure the bar is set. It's so low. It's really just laying on the ground, and the ground's been dug up to kind of recess it, so you don't even really have to step over it. You can just float over it. But I'm fortunate to be a part of our local school's education foundation, and the foundation exists. It's got a great endowment, so well endowed. But
how well endowed is it?
Oh man, more than me. Let's just say that.
Oh my word.
Yes. Well, a number of people over the years have been very generous with giving gifts in honor and memory of family members and then just others who just want to support education. And so the foundation exists to offer grants and scholarships to anyone in the school system. Teachers and students can both submit for them, as well as post high school college scholarships. Woo.
You made it.
Well, rough. But this year, as we've been working on our engagement with the schools, we're like, let's actually like show up in practical ways as a foundation to show support for teachers, because it's been a rough few years for the teachers, and so we chose to show up each month. There's a unique staff meeting that happens at each of the schools, and we're going to rotate around to each and bring them donuts and coffee.
Nice.
It's just a way to say thank you. And so I got to participate in the kickoff of that at the middle school that my kids went to, and so got to see some of the friends and teachers that we know there. And again, just to offer sweet pastries and
Sweets and treats.
yeah, exactly that. And it's kind of similar along as you were telling your story. I'm like, and my friend who's the executive director for the organization, she said it. She says it's low hanging fruit. Like it doesn't take much to brighten someone's day. Like it takes this much effort, and kind of almost always the result is exponential. And it's I just kind of keep that in mind as I go through my day of like, it takes this much for you to kind of brighten someone's day and have a profound impact. And so that's. I have very little to carry in that same moment, but it just was kind of fun. Just kind of be like, no, it's fun to do generous, unexpected, kind gestures to others.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it gives me energy. Like
yeah,
it motivates you to want to do the next thing.
Yeah, I work with an older woman that she's very funny. We get along very well, and we had. We both went to lunch at the same time one day, and ended up just going to a food truck, and we were chit-chatting in line, and I bought her lunch for her. And she does a lot for the office, and she's like kind of the birthday club person.
Okay.
So she sends me an email like the next day or 2 days later, and it's like, "Thank you very much for lunch. You do not have to reply to this email." Okay, then I won't. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I get the feeling you don't want this to be made a deal of. So then, like, probably a week later, I walk into my office and there's a card on my desk, and I'm like, okay, and it's a handwritten note that says, "Thank you very much for lunch. I enjoyed chatting." And so I was like,
she didn't want to reply to the card. She didn't want a card back.
So I just went over to her desk and I was like, "Hey." She looked at me and I like held the card up, and her eyes get kind of big, and I go, "This right here, this is old school cool. Good on you." And she was like, "Baby, I'm old school." And I was like, "A handwritten note, that's going the extra mile."
Yeah.
But you're right, because to me it was just, this woman does a lot for our office.
Yep.
This isn't, we're here.
There's an opportunity to.
Yep.
Kind gesture.
But you're right, it meant a lot to her, and I was like, we can let it go. It was burger and fries. Like,
sure.
I didn't take it like a fancy food truck. I don't know what that would be, but yeah, you're right. I've seen that in those little spaces where it's just kind of interesting, where somebody's really, really appreciative of those things, and I feel like I am too. Like if somebody goes out of their way for me, I feel the same. Yeah. Unless I hate them and then they're dead to me. Yeah. I never mention it and I burn whatever.
Yeah, that's good. Nice. Thanks for. I like where that just trailed off too. I don't know if
I was
anybody.
trying to do an organic transfer into center moments.
Oh, okay. Anybody who buys someone a meal at a food truck is either showing off or rich or something. Food trucks are the biggest emperor's clothes, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, it was like a $25 lunch.
It's expensive. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of time. You're the one standing out in the heat waiting for your meal.
It was not a good day too. You're right.
People are like, "Oh, food trucks." I'm like, "No, thanks. I'll go find a restaurant to sit down and enjoy the meal." But you go ahead.
Yeah, no,
and it's never as good. Before, like I've had very few. Like fair food is better than most food truck food.
I'll give you that. Yeah, for me that day was a matter of convenience.
No,
I was good with it.
I'm not criticizing your lunch choices. I'm just sharing my personal opinion.
I would like to criticize.
I have opinions, and it's my podcast, and I can just share them.
I knew it.
Yeah.
It's been your podcast all the time, and I'm just a
No, you equally can complain about whatever. You're just the pretty face.
I still just thought I was the guest.
You're the pretty face.
The whole time I thought I was the guest.
We do have locally a food truck that has popped up that I've got to experience a couple times. That is a donut food truck.
Oh, I
and
can go to that.
and that does work. They do the little mini donuts. Have you seen these mini donut conveyors? It's about a 4-foot stainless steel contraption,
Okay.
and it's got hot oil in it, and it's got your little.
Is it the thing that used to be at Krispy Kreme where they would show you how the donuts were made?
It might be, but
Okay.
it just works all the way. It just sends them all the way down the path. Yeah, they've got one at the City Museum in St. Louis. And I have considered buying one for my house as a countertop appliance because they're not that expensive, and I love donuts. But then you can like there if you go to Soho in New York or what's the market in Cincinnati?
I don't know.
Yes,
Guys,
that one.
Guys,
They've got little booths. They got little donut things that it's that you can flavor them all sorts of ways. It's amazing. It's amazing. But this food truck, I mean, you're paying a stupid amount for donuts, but it's a food truck, so it's like rationale and reasoning go out the window.
They do.
Good financial monetary responsibility is
Fiscal.
because you're caught up in the moment.
Yeah, that day, I was like, it's burger and fries, and they did a good one. They did a good trick where it was, it's like $8.50 for the burger.
Yeah.
And so in your mind,
You're like, that's not bad.
Burger and fries for $8.50, and the fries are $4 more on top of the burger. And you're like, oh, hang on.
Brew Burger does that too.
Hang
They're like, here's your $14 burger. Oh, do you want fries with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what gets me about this? This might be the food episode again, guys. Have you seen?
No, it's the money and food.
Yeah,
episode.
it's the fiscal food episode.
Uh-huh.
The places now. So when we were younger, it was kind of well documented in 80s TV that like the lobster is market price. We have a delicious Chilean sea bass market price.
Lots of Chilean sea bass.
So you would have like fish market prices vary based on availability, right?
Yeah.
I went to lunch yesterday. Took the day off. Went to lunch and sat down at a normal neighborhood bar, not Applebee's. I think their build is
they're
the
fancy
bar.
They're fancy, like Applebee's.
This place has their wings. They've redone their menu, and their chicken wings now just say
market value.
And I'm like, if you're not going to tell me the price for chicken wings, because you told me you were going to give me 8 of them, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $16 for 8 chicken wings. Like
the price of chicken in the last
it's
10
ridiculous.
years has gone bonkers.
It's ridiculous. But like you're going to market price me chicken wings?
I heard about a bar that does their cocktails like the stock market. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
So they've got they've got these stock market screens
like
all
ticker
over.
boards?
Yes, ticker boards, and the more popular a drink is, the more expensive it is, and less popular drinks are.
So you got to buy the dips on your drinks?
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, that would be great fun.
Wow.
That's a fun gimmick. That's a clever gimmick.
That is a clever gimmick. Because then, I wonder what the baseline is.
I don't know. But I was like, that'd be fun. I've seen it a couple times, and I'm like, I gotta find one of those.
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy who I'm not gonna put this place on blast because they actually do good charity work, but it's a bar here in Indianapolis that bar/distillery, and he was like, yeah, some friends and I were gonna go there, and we ended up changing our mind and we went somewhere else, and I was like, hey, you know what you avoided? And he's like, what? I was like, paying $22 a cocktail, and he's like, no, and I was like, man, I went there when they first opened, and those cocktails were like $16, $18 for a cocktail. And I was like, you do understand an entire bottle of Jim Beam's like $15.
Go get your own.
Like,
head back to the hotel and make your own.
Guess how many cocktails I can make with that? More than one.
It's Hamilton County eating out prices are not cheap.
Yeah.
So it is kind of fun that when we travel, it's like, oh, that's cheap.
Yeah.
I live in such an expensive area.
Gosh. This was a few years ago. There was this little bar not far from my hometown, called Sparky's Doghouse. So if you're ever back in Mount Summit, stop by Sparky's.
Do you have a shirt?
No, I've never had a Sparky shirt.
Somebody has a shirt. I've seen
Maybe.
that.
Yeah. So Sparky's used to be run by this guy nicknamed Sparky. And this was, I've got a sitter moment attached to this.
Oh,
And
yes.
moment.
Oh, we're doubling up. Ben's getting super holy today.
Yeah.
Pulling out that funk.
Actually, I think I'm just waking up. That's what's really happening here. I think I'm just waking up.
The best part of waking up is sinner and saint in your cup. Is that, no?
I liked it. No, I liked it. I give it an 8. I liked it. We should start rating our jokes. So Sparky's was they were. It's just a bar, but it's like small town bar food, not like city bar
right.
food.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things they would do is when you ordered a ham and cheese sandwich, they pulled out the ham hock and thick cut it and threw it on the griddle, and they were great sandwiches. So I had gone back home and stopped in Sparky's. This was maybe 5 years ago before they changed owners. Stopped in Sparky's, had a ham sandwich, bag of chips, 2 beers, and my tab was $7.50. And I gave her a 10. She's like, "Let me get your change, hon." I was like, "No, that's all you." And she's like, "What? Are you really?" And I was like, "Yes, really, because you just fed me and this was."
You got it.
Yeah. So my Cincy Saintsies is my godfather, not funny, was an alcoholic. And Sparky's was his...
You're asking for it.
I know. His local place, Sparky's was his place. And so he went in, and my godfather was also a master woodcrafter and a furniture maker. So he went in and one night was talking to Sparky and was like, "Your bar needs rebuilt, because it's, this is on." And Sparky was like, "Yeah, drunk at the bar, trying to rebuild my bar." So John brought in photos, like a photo album, and was like, "No, this is what I do."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah, you can build my bar." And then really cool, John and Sparky became friends over that, because Sparky was like, "I want to learn how to woodwork."
Sure.
And so John taught him how. So fast forward to I'm 17. I've always looked a little older for my age, even when I was a kid. And so me and my buddy Craig got this brilliant idea. Craig's dad worked for the local cement mill. And so I put on one of those hats, literally rolled around in the white rock parking lot to make it look like I'd been at the concrete all day. I walk in dramatically, because I'm an idiot kid. Slap my hand down on the bar and go, "Case of bud." And I hear from the other end of the bar, "Don't give it to him." And it was my godfather sitting there drinking. Now, he was normally an after dinner drinker, so I was like, "Why is he here for?" Because we just got out of school. And also dumb. Guess what? The concrete mill guys don't get off till 5.
No, right,
so,
you had to work that into the narrative. Oh, glad to get off early.
Oh, boy, couldn't wait. I got fired today. I need that cheese. So I go down there, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, me and Craig are trying to get a case of beer." And he's like, "Craig out there?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Who drove?" I said, "Craig." He goes, "Go send him home and come back in." I was like, "All right." So I went out, told Craig, came back in. He goes, "Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to buy you dinner. You're going to sit here, and I'm going to get drunk, and then you're going to drive me home." I was like, "Okay, all right, we can do that."
All right.
And he was just that kind of guy. He was the smartest man I've ever known. He was a member of Mensa, but just had his own demons and never got past them, and chose alcohol as a crutch. And he, as a godfather, he was a great guy, but it was just that Sparky's Doghouse, man. Small town food, just good prices.
I've got family that owns the local tavern in my hometown, so it's a I don't get back there much, and I don't go there much, but it's a nice little generational thing. It's been in the family for 2 or 3 generations, and I think it just passed to the 3rd, so kind of fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sparky's got new ownership, and I went back in there, and they are now city prices.
Oh,
and I was like, I can do without this.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and that area hasn't changed. It's just, kind of flipped over. And I guess it was the couple that bought it were locals, and they grew up passing the doghouse and probably trying the same crap I tried.
Right.
Yeah.
Want to update it and make their buck. Here's my center moment. So we were doing working out in the yard last weekend. We got the new dog, Finn, which I did not want the dog. I was more indifferent. I wasn't opposed, more indifferent. Brutus, for those who knew Brutus, he was a great dog, and he was not a runner. Our first dog was a runner, and we were told Finn could be a runner, and we've experienced that.
Cana.
Cana, yeah, white Siberian Husky, and we were told Finn sometimes is a runner, and we've seen that sometimes he's a runner. This was not him necessarily being a runner. As much as it was, I think I left the garage door open. And Finn just took advantage of that. But I didn't know that, so I was done with the yard work and was going up to get a shower and clean up. And I was getting in the shower, and my wife's like, "Have you seen Finn?" And I'm like, "Nope." I'm like,
he's in the shower with
me. Not showering with him. That's what you're asking. Yeah, exactly. And she's like, "Well, he's not around." And my center moment was like, "Don't care." Like,
yeah, didn't want him in the first place.
Didn't want him. I'm not stopping my shower to go chase a dog down. Like,
well, that's again sprinting and flip flops.
Sprinting and flip flopping would have been.
It was right there the whole time. Good on you.
You're welcome. So I then felt guilty and was like, I
should love the animal.
So I rushed my shower more than I would have otherwise had not been stimulated by such experience. By stimulated, I meant rush. That's it.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Dig yourself out of that. Dig yourself out of a stimulating shower moment.
Got out, dried off.
Hey, we got a show title.
Although
stimulating showers.
I did. I dried off, but I did not. I was like, I'm gonna walk around and see if the dog's out there. Well, I come out the back door, and across the alley and across the street behind us, there are 2 cop cars and cops.
Oh no!
Walking around.
You have a lot of cops in this town.
We have. Well, it's very high crime here,
I saw 2 cops. 2 cops. Stopping one woman and 2 children across the street.
They always do every stop in pairs. Always.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a ride along once, and they're like, as soon as someone's got somebody, a second one always shows up. I'm like, maybe overkill.
Yeah,
whatever.
And especially 4 cops getting one dog, right?
So, well, it was 2 cops. They always ride singles. But I see them, and I'm like, I see the homeowner kind of out in the yard, and I'm like, nobody looks like this is high energy escalated, and I'm like, I bet that's my dog. So I stroll over, and I'm like, and they're kind of looking around, and I can see one of them's got a stick, a dog stick, and I'm like, you guys trying to get a dog? And they're like, you looking for a dog? And I said, yep. And they're like, what's the dog look like? I'm like, it's brown. I'm like,
what's the dog?
It gets better. I'm like, it's brown. They're like, how big is the dog? I'm like, about knee height. And they're like, what's its tail look like? And I'm like, it curls up at the end. And they're like, well, you got to the backyard. We think you got itself trapped in the garage. And I was like, that sounds about right. So I whistle for him and call him out, and I hear a dog whimper. And they're like, well, be careful. It might not be your dog. And I'm like, it's my dog. And even if it's not my dog, like, it's just a scared dog.
It's
like,
just a dog.
Yeah. And I get it. I'm not, yes, dogs can be mean, but come on. So, yeah, I get the dog out, and...
Wait, was it your dog?
It was my dog.
Oh.
It was.
Really? Oh, my gosh.
It was my dog, and they're like...
I was stimulated.
And then they're all over petting. Oh, he's such a cute dog. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, we left the door open accidentally, and they gave me the leash to walk him home, and then the officer walked me back, and it just was like
perp walk.
It was,
dog.
It was that. Yes, yes, it was.
Oh, that's funny.
But I didn't want to, just so you know, just for the record.
Okay.
I didn't
want to.
I wanted Cammie to have the burden of that. She wanted the dog.
That's a good idea.
No, that's my I just doubled down on my center moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't stop being a turd.
How long do you shower? How long does that take?
Oh, not long. Quick shower.
Okay.
So like long showers, and I've never understood long showers.
I'm
like, I don't.
What are you doing?
I don't know what you got to do.
I
You
know.
can't just like that. Well, that was a quick shower. I'm like, yeah. Like,
Yep.
I don't have hair to wash.
Guess what? I'm clean.
It's a once over.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs twice over. Like, maybe if I've been painting or
Yeah.
really getting nasty in the grease. But
Yeah. So I smoked ribs all day yesterday, and then decided, man, I'm just going to be hanging outside with my buddies, and I'm going to have probably a couple cigars. And
right.
so I was like, So I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm gonna shower when I get home. Is that going to bother you? And her comment was, I probably won't even wake up because I'll never hear the water turn on. And I was like, that's pretty accurate. Because I'm the same. Like, 5 minutes is a long shower for me. Like, it's typically 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in, I'm out. Like, I don't need to spend a lot of time with it. But yesterday I did, had to make sure, because with playing with the smoker and stuff, because I cleaned the smoker before I started. So I felt like I washed myself a lot yesterday without taking a shower. Yeah.
Even when I shave, it maybe adds 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the other day, I was like, 20 minutes. I don't know if I have time to get a shower. And I was
Yeah.
like, yes, you do.
Mhm.
Like, the big thing for me, shower talk on Center and Saint podcast.
Stimulating showers.
It's after I work out, like to just let my body to cool off.
I
like
know.
that's.
Because
I'll take a shower and I get out of the shower and I'm still sweating. So I usually just have to sit on the edge of the bed, butt naked for 10 minutes. You're welcome.
Yeah. We have a big industrial fan in the workout room at our house. And there's been some individual nudity in front of that fan from more than one party.
We did a portable AC at some point in the summer because it just got stupid hot and the kids' rooms were, our AC fan in the basement doesn't blow. We have a big old house.
Yeah.
And it's not insulated well in the second story. And so like we bought one to kind of help mediate that. And so it sits right outside our bathroom. I've sat on the stool in front of that AC, just letting that cold air blow over the big hairy back that I have.
May I do a quick PSA?
Please.
Okay. So if you're watching us on YouTube, this is really for the viewers, not the listeners. If you're watching us on YouTube, I know what you're thinking. I'm going to look right at you. You're sitting here thinking, these guys work out? We do. We do. So if you're a younger viewer, you probably are because you're watching this, not listening.
That's
like a
right.
Psychopath. Get into a good fitness regime now.
Yeah, keep doing it.
Get into that rhythm, or else you're going to look like this.
You lose
and
it.
then people are going to be like, he said body by bacon, and then he said he worked out, and I don't know which to believe, but I think I'm going to believe the former.
Yeah. I do like my food. So
Yeah. Get your metabolism going quicker because you lose it day by day by day.
yeah, that youth, it goes away usually in your 30s. So what you think is just going to be there for you, it's not there.
And if you're a late bloomer, it's okay. But start now. Seriously.
I think we just made a difference
Today.
I think we just.
Where are we at on time? Probably 40 minutes.
I don't know. Yeah. Right there, 38.
Yeah. So we said earlier that we.
We offended food truck owners.
I was gonna say we have a few format things.
Oh
if
yeah.
you knew.
Yeah.
We
always go through and recognize who we offended because we don't mean to, but it just kind of happens. It's because we're just jerks.
Yeah. Yeah. I offended 17-year-olds who think they're old enough to drink, including myself.
Yeah. Those who really care about podcast audio quality, I don't know why you keep coming back. You're just getting tortured over and over and over again.
I'll be honest. Listening to this is one of the best quality days we've had.
What?
I'm not.
Just because you hold it in your hand?
Because there's no buzz.
If you hold us in your hand?
I don't want to have to do that because my hand's sleepy.
Well, what?
You see me go to sleepy. I don't want to have
We're
to
gonna figure it out.
hold
We're
this
gonna see if maybe a book platform
We'll
will help
figure
it
this
out, or we're gonna
We
create a
need one of
clay
these
model.
microphone cradles for just the phone.
Yeah.
I can build that out of rubber bands. We probably offended cops because you shouldn't have to ask what the dog looks like if it's a missing dog. Like, it's my dog, dude. It's tags and fin.
What's the
Then
tail
it's
look
probably
like?
my dog.
That's a weird question. Like, it has one. What's the tail?
Ooh, that could have been because if it was cropped.
Right.
What's his tail look like?
Right.
A nub?
A
Like
nub,
a thumb?
yeah.
I don't know.
We offended the new owners of Sparky's.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And it might have been your childhood dream to own that place, but you were a kid. Why did you want to own a bar?
Why'd you ruin it?
You should have wanted to be a train engineer or something passionate.
Yeah.
Like a crossman.
What'd you learn? What'd you learn today?
I learned that you have stimulating showers, and that we have roughly the same utilitarian shower routine.
I'm not surprised by that. I imagine our lives look pretty similar 90% of the day.
I would wildly disagree with that. Just based on our text exchange yesterday. I was like, hey man, I'm doing nothing if you want to come by. And you're like, pretty busy day, man. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
It was a busy day. I wanted to.
So no, you're good. That invite's always welcome,
Yeah.
especially on long.
Wait, was your accident bloody scene yesterday?
Yeah.
Ah, dang.
You would have been there for that.
That would have been pretty cool.
You could have ran in sandals with me.
Yeah, I would have been in flippy floppies.
We could have scared the crap out of
We
you.
would have been like, what in the world is going on?
Quick sidebar. I've got this guy. There's this guy who lives across the common space from me. And
I know this guy.
we call him Boot Dude.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure he has a side hustle like buying and selling cowboy boots. Because like he's out there and he'll like clean them, and then he'll set them down and he'll photograph them, and then and I'm like, so it's pretty common in my house just to be like, Boot Dude doing boot stuff. So as I go tearing across the common space, Boot Dude's in his backyard doing boot stuff, and the footpath cut through is right at his property line. So he's just like, he has to think, that freaking weirdo. That weirdo who just like sits on his porch and stares at the sky, and now he's just like sprinting in sandals like down the street like that. He probably just thinks I'm on methamphetamines or something. He's like, he's all jacked up on something.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But he's an enormous dude, like sincerely built like Thor.
Yeah.
Like not the Chris Hemsworth face, but the long hair,
Yeah.
like just an enormous dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you yell nice boots as you ran past?
I was real preoccupied. I was stabby on the brain.
Yeah.
And
Stabby on the brain.
and not Boot Dude. But next time I will. I'll be like, nice boots, and then just keep running.
Yeah. You should do that.
How much for your boots? What size? And then Patrick takes us out with the spirit, something probably topical to what we talked about.
Try to.
And just a little something positive to send you into your week as you spent your Sunday morning or Monday morning, or we recorded this and you're listening 7 years later.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I think I got a little insecure about these because I'm like, do I say anything different? I hope I say something different. I hope.
Hardly listen.
Yeah, I know you do. You're kind of whatever.
The point where I check soccer scores.
As you head into your week from Sinner and Saint podcast, or your evening, or whenever you listen to it, here we go. May your showers be quick. May your gestures be kind, and may that sour cocktail hit you in a refreshingly cringy way.
Refreshingly cringy.
There, I haven't done one like that. I'll take that.
I
don't know if it's good, but it's what I got.
Well, it's apropos since I came in this morning and you were like, well, you're sour today. And I hadn't said anything, and I was like, why does he?
I could just see it.
Why am I sour?
I could see it. Well, I kind of had that in the chamber too, so I knew what the cocktails were you were bringing.
Well, and because I forgot that I updated the show doc before I came.
You did.
And I don't know. Spotify hates me today, so I guess
technology is fighting us again.
Boy, it sure
we're gonna
is.
do what we do. So. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Sinner and Saint podcast with Ben and Patrick. We discuss the best and worst of life. As you go through your week, spread this around. We can see our viewership's picking back up, and that's good for us because we got some things we're going to play around with this fall. We're going to see if we can get Insta Reels made out of these videos, and then we got some merch that we're looking at a little down the road. The merch. So yeah, that's it. We're signing off. Have a great one.